Good evening, Scott's off tonight. We start tonight at 6 with new details on how Indiana plans to house ICE detainees here in our state. Those detainees could start arriving at the Miami Correctional Facility October 1st. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker joins us live in studio with what other details we learned about this. Hey, Emily.
Hey, and so the head of the Department of Corrections went before the State Budget Committee today and asked for close to $16 million for upgrades to the Miami Correctional Facility. We also learned that the state will charge the federal government close to $300 a day for each ICE detainee it houses.
Indiana will charge the federal government $291 a day per detainee. Right now, it costs the state $70 a day per inmate.
I know that number does appear to be high, but we did that to protect, I feel like, the Hoosier taxpayer.
According to the Indiana Department of Corrections Commissioner Lloyd Arnold, the ICE detainees housed at the facility will all be men and could come from all over the country.
We are housing them, we're feeding them, giving them medical care. They're getting their legal rights, everything they have, obtained to them. We're clothing them.
According to a spokesperson with the governor's office familiar with details of the contract between ICE and the Indiana DOC, the federal government guaranteed it will fill at least 450 beds with ICE detainees every day for 2 years. That's $79 million the state stands to bring in to its general fund. Should all 1,000 beds be filled with detainees every day for 2 years, that number would be much higher at $213 million.
The treatment is vital, and the reputation of the state of Indiana is at stake. And in a competition for nastiness with Florida and Louisiana, I want to come in dead last.
In addressing how detainees will be treated, Democratic State Representative Ed Delaney referenced this bust of Colonel Richard Owen near the governor's office in the State House. Owen celebrated for his humane treatment of Confederate prisoners of war held in Indiana during the Civil War.
That's the model. I want Indiana known as the home of Colonel Owen, as the home of people who treat people decently. And that is my #1 request.
Arnold said those working with detainees would receive extra training and invited lawmakers to visit the facility once they arrive.
We're going to also do just as good of a job to make sure they're taken care of before we release them back to their home countries.
Democratic State Senator Fatty Cadora questioned whether detainees would receive due process.
If we don't do that, it is not about Democrats versus Republican. It is the erosion. It is the erosion of our judicial and legal system in this nation.
Arnold said detainees receiving due process is a standard the state has to uphold, but said not all detainees request legal services.
A lot of these people don't ask for it just because they already know they're going to be deported. They're illegal.
And Commissioner Arnold told the State Budget Committee there were no plans to hire anyone from out of state to work with the detainees. He told lawmakers on the committee they would be using current DOC staff at Miami and also hiring people in state. He said they're paying $28 an hour to these folks that they're hiring to compete with the auto plants in the area, what auto plants are paying people.
Yeah, so competition for the labor, but also competition for these dollars. That's like 3-4 times more revenue.
For about 4 times more.
Wow.
Correct.
All right, big dollars at stake there. Emily, thank you so much. Well, the Miami Correctional Facility is one of 2 locations expected to house ICE detainees in the state of Indiana. You might remember it was back in July that federal officials announced plans to house up to 1,000 detainees at Camp Atterbury in Johnson County. It's not clear just yet when those changes will take effect.